Lowe's knows that saving is always top of mind, especially this season. That's why we've picked some great deals for early Black Friday. Get free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit. More tools? Why not? Plus, we've got select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $59.98 because it's never too early to think Christmas. Get Black Friday prices without the crowds. Lowe's, we help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Ah, DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. Thanks for watching today's program on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll get to Week 12 NFL look-ahead lines. Mike Paulman studio, bottom of the hour as well. But right now it is Wednesdays with Vito's son as we head out to the Progressive Guest Line, and the great Sal Paolantonio joins the program. Sal, Pal, good afternoon. Thanks for the time as always, Pal. How are you?
Oh, this is a great slate of games for Week 11. Unbelievable. Great slate of games. The NFL matchup show this weekend is going to be loaded up, let me tell you.
Yeah, so before we dive into some of these matchups, what is your current pecking order if you power rated the teams in the NFC?
And the NFC is loaded up. There's no question it's loaded up. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams with 5 wins or more. 9 teams with 5 wins or more. So if I'm giving you my pecking order, I would have to say number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles because they're the Super Bowl champs and they never seem to lose. And they've beaten the Rams at home, the Bucks on the road, the Chiefs on the road, the Vikings on the road, the Packers on the road. They know how to win football games. So I'm going Eagles 1, Rams 2, because they are just scoring points like crazy, and they are number 1 in the NFC in points allowed. You know, everybody overlooks that.
Yeah.
When you look at the Rams, you got to look at points allowed and look at the point differential of that football team is amazing. I am not a great believer yet in the Seattle Seahawks. I am not yet a great believer in the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm gonna slot them in at number 3, and number 4 would be the Detroit Lions. So this weekend, here's what you got. You got the top 4 teams going against each other. You got Lions at Eagles and Seahawks and Rams. That's amazing. It really is.
That's great. Can't wait. You're going to be at the Rumble in the concrete jungle. What do you think Sunday night and your level of concern with the Eagles on offense?
You know, by the way, I've trademarked that phrase. So, you know, when you use it, you know, you're going to have, you know, come on, you got to follow the money. The money's got to flow to Vito's son on that one, all right?
A box of cannolis.
That.
All right.
Hey, I want a box of cannoli. I want Big Dom's box of cannolis coming into South Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field Sunday night.
You got it.
You know, do the Eagles have enough offense to keep up with the Lions in this football game? That's the number one question. To me, they're going to have to obviously rev up the passing game against the Lions because the Lions are really doing a great job on play action pass, distribution of the football, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, Jared Goff. This Lions offense is for real. You only have 3 teams in the NFL, gentlemen, right now scoring more than 30 points a game, and the Lions are one of them. So the Eagles, I don't know if they have enough offense to hang with them for 4 quarters, but I do know they have enough defense. I went back and I looked at the tape of that Eagles defense against the Packers offense. Now, of course, it's not the Lions, but they will be home. And it will be the Rumble in the jungle, and they get their juices flowing defensively. Mm-hmm. They have good matchups all the way along the board. The guy who is the number 1 guy on that defense, without a doubt, when you look at the tape, is Jalen Carter. If you're not double teaming him, you better be holding him. And the Packers did a great job holding him and a great job of holding him without getting called for it. I went back and I looked at it. Jalen Carter was held on 6 rushes, held flat out. Matter of fact, when Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are doing a breakdown of Jalen Carter batting down a pass of Jordan Love, the offensive lineman had Jalen Carter in a bear hug, a double-armed bear hug that was not called. He had hands to the face that was not called. They absolutely mauled Jalen Carter, and it's not getting called.
Good observation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe that's something Sirianni can point at this week to the league, to the officials, and say, hey, you need to watch this on Sunday night and make sure that the Lions are not going to do the same thing. How do you break down the Rams in Seattle then? Devontae Adams not going to practice today. McVay said he expects him to be there ready on Sunday. If you're not all the way there yet with Seattle, I assume that you would maybe even consider laying the points here with the Rams?
Yeah, it's 3 points. The Rams are home. The Rams at home are an offensive juggernaut. I like the Rams in that game. I really do.
Love them?
Love them.
Love them.
Love them.
Wow.
Okay. How does it go for the Broncos at home to the Chiefs?
I don't love the Broncos at home against the Chiefs, and I'll tell you why. I don't think the Broncos can hang offensively. I really don't. I think Spagnuolo, everybody's going to be talking about Vance Joseph against Patrick Mahomes. Uh-huh. Okay, well, Patrick Mahomes has won a couple of Super Bowls, okay, and he knows how to play certain games. Don't worry about Patrick Mahomes. Worry about Bo Nix against Steve Spagnuolo.
Yes.
That, to me, is the deal. Chiefs are laying 4 here. Listen, that's a lot, but I like the Chiefs in that game. Like a little bit. Chiefs in that game to cover the spread.
The big man's 13-1 off the bye in Kansas City as well. I like that angle. Okay, your level of concern with Buffalo, 5.5 at home to Tampa.
I'm not at home to Tampa. I'm not. Bucks really disappointed me last week. Mm-hmm. The Bucks were, I thought, going back and look at it, I didn't look at the Patriots defense. I looked at the Bucks defense versus the Patriots offense. I didn't think the Bucks were prepared for the Patriots' speed offensively. The Patriots have some deceptively good speed that people are not paying attention to on offense. The Bills don't have that speed. But they do have a quarterback who is going to try to bounce back at home. I don't like the Bucks at all in that game against the Bills. I like the Bills not only to win but to cover that game. I don't like the Bucks. I just don't.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, coming off that game against the Patriots, I don't. I'm a ballsy guy.
Right.
I'm a Baker guy. I'm a Baker guy. But Drake baked in that game last week.
Well, okay, a couple things on the Patriots. They're up to a 13.5 point favorite at some books tomorrow night against the Jets. Is there a path here where Drake May can actually win the MVP? Can the Patriots be the 1 seed at the end of the year in this conference?
2 questions. I'll take them individually. There is definitely a path for Drake May to be the MVP. He's sort of got like momentum among media members. I talked to a lot of guys in the press. I do not have an MVP vote, but I talk to a lot of guys because I'm on the Hall of Fame committee. And he's like the darling right now of the media. Here's the problem for the Pats. Too many turnovers. You look at the Colts and the Pats and the Bills and the Jaguars in the AFC. Those teams, although they all have a winning record, they all have a lot of turnovers that are not going to help them in November and December. They got to stop the turnovers in New England. The schedule is going to get a little harder, not against the Jets, but the schedule is going to get a little harder, and you can't make up for that many turnovers overall. I think that's a problem that they have to overcome. Seahawks, the reason why I don't like the Seahawks, also a lot of turnovers.
That's why you're a Hall of Famer. And watch the matchup show this weekend on ESPN. It's Sal Palvito's son on the Progressive Guest Line. Let's go back to a discussion we had a couple weeks ago. Taylor did it again. Over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. You said you know a lot of voters who won't vote for a running back. Jonathan Taylor's down to plus 550. Can he win the MVP?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a neck-and-neck race with 3 horses in it. Stafford, Drake May, and Jonathan Taylor. It's going to come down to the performances in the next 2 months. No question about it.
Would Taylor have to beat or match LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time touchdown mark to get there?
Probably. I mean, the bar is always higher, right? Mm-hmm. The bar is always higher for running backs. So he's going to have a very high bar. Now, you look at the number of touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor, right? Off the charts. And production with touchdowns is always a very, very big thing.
Is there another game that you like this weekend on the board that we haven't brought up yet?
There is another game that I like this weekend that you guys haven't talked about, and that's Ravens-Browns. See, the Ravens on the road in Cleveland is always a dicey situation, and I don't really know. It is. Yeah. It always is. It's one of those games. It's kind of like the boogeyman comes out, right? They used to play the franchise used to play in Cleveland. Yeah. And there's some ghosts there. That's always a game that I'm intrigued by. Lamar Jackson didn't practice again today because of a knee injury. So that's one that I would definitely watch. No question in my mind.
Yeah.
But, the things that you have to watch, the number one thing you have to watch, in my opinion, and we talked about this last year, in November and December, is turnovers. Number 2 is points allowed. So the Eagles right now lead the NFL with only 4 turnovers. So that's why, to me, they're in such a great position. You look at Seattle, and I mentioned Seattle, why I'm not a big believer. They have 16 turnovers, gentlemen. Mm-hmm. They have 16 turnovers. That's tied for most in the NFC with the Minnesota Vikings. 16 turnovers, only one more than Carolina and the New Orleans Saints. Mm-hmm. So they got to stop turning the ball over. Same with the Broncos. Broncos have 12 turnovers. That's a lot of turnovers. Pats have 12 too. So you look at those teams and you say, all right, in the killer months of November and December, can they stop the turnovers? And that's the key thing. Eagles only have 4. Kansas City only has 5. Lions only have 6. Look at the turnovers in November and December.
Dynamite
Great
analysis
job.
as always, Sal Pal. Thank you. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, gentlemen.
There you go. Sal Paolantonio every Wednesday at this time on the Progressive Guest Line. Up next, look ahead numbers, Week 12 NFL, some huge primetime games, and 3 double-digit favorites.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Mike Palm coming up in 15 minutes. He is the VP of Circa Las Vegas. You're not going to believe the response someone got when asking about a chop in Grandissimo, the $100,000 entry for a Survivor contest out here in town. Amazing.
You got it, my man.
Pauly, one of your favorite segments, one of my favorite segments of the entire week. During the football season, we do look-ahead numbers. These are available at plenty of books. The Thursday night game, I think, has, just so many playoff ramifications to it.
The cachet in this game.
The Bills are 2.5 at the Texans. Total is 44.5. I will give you this. Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud today experiencing symptoms and is not practicing again. So it could be Davis Mills, probably going to be Davis Mills this weekend, and then they turn around and play right away on Thursday.
And that number is down to 6.5 now with the Titans in some spots. And I'm also interested to see what Davis Mills' anytime touchdown will be as he got in there and played well. And you pointed this out off air. Last year, Josh Allen was horrendous in Houston. Terrible in that game, especially in the first half.
Yeah, you want the numbers?
Yes, please.
This was October 6th last year. Now, the Bills came back to lose 23-20. They were getting
Texans were blown. Yeah, Stroud was terrible in that game.
Yeah, Josh Allen was 9 for 30 for 101 yards. 9 for 30. You think this Texans defense is good?
Yep. And if you get Stroud back here, number one, that total's too high. And imagine if the Bills lose to Tampa. This really gets juicy. And this is right. The Texans, can they get on a streak here? Can they go 5-1? Can they do it? They have the defense, certainly. But this is a great game on Thursday.
Boy, my gut says I have to be on Texans on a two-team 6-point teaser up to 8.5 points.
Patriots 5.5 at the Bengals. I love the Bengals here. 51.5 the total. I think Flacco and the Bengals will move it. They can't stop anything, I know. But as Sal Pell talked about the turnovers, I think the Bengals can be live in this one. I don't like coming off a Pittsburgh game, but I think at home, they got the Burrow stuff, targeting the Thanksgiving game. I think the Bengals can hang in this one.
This is why I'm afraid of Travion Henderson pulling off the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Not only did he go nuts last week against Tampa, he gets the Jets tomorrow night. There's no Stevenson, right?
Yeah.
He gets the Bengals defense now next week. This is setting up. Henderson will go off and probably run for 100. And what's Hunter Henry going to do? The Bengals are by far and away the best team at guarding tight ends.
Good calls. Here we go. On to the big boys. Lions 11.5 at home to the Giants. We might not see Dart for a while. And that really shakes things up. And Ibuka, who knows, how high does Ibuka get to? I mean, what if Dart only plays 7-8 games?
Then he can't win by playing only 7-8. And if he doesn't play, so
10's not enough either, I would argue.
If I told you right now Dart's going to play, would you take 11.5? Or how about this? Would you look?
The Giants' defense stinks.
I was going to say, would you look at the over instead?
Yeah.
Because if that's Winston or if it's Dart, 49.5, the Lions might score 40 on their own in this game.
Concur. Seattle 12.5 at Tennessee.
Wow. Oh boy. Well, I used the Seahawks in, I believe, 2 survivor entries last week, and the thought was, can we possibly save them to use them for this game? And now I can't use them. So
yeah. Well, that's all right. Ravens 14.5 at home against the Jets.
Oh man.
I mean, that's right. It's right there for Baltimore. If you get past the boogeyman Sunday, then you got the Jets. Then Cincinnati. There's a Pittsburgh in there. Cincinnati again. It's set up to have all of a sudden be a 10-5 team.
Yeah. And there's your back-to-back-to-back games right there with double-digit point spreads.
Chiefs 4.5 at home to the Colts.
Okay, instant reaction. What do you do? What do you do, hotshot?
I have to take the Chiefs.
Matt, so do I.
Have to do it. Atlanta should have beat the Colts. And you got that performance out of Taylor?
I agree. And Jonathan Taylor against the Spagnuolo defense, he's going to be up against it there.
All right. I know what you're going to do here. Packers 6.5 at home to the Vikings.
Is that a big number?
I think it is, yeah. I think the Vikings beat the Bears. And I think the way this Green Bay offense looks, I think the Vikings can hang in that one.
You know what I like in that game?
I like the under.
Here's what I never bet, and I like in that game, a defensive or special teams touchdown.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Good price. Okay.
I think both defenses are going to they're going to lay haymakers the entire day to the opposing quarterbacks. This
was 3. Now the Bears 1.5 at home to the Steelers. 46.5 the total. I like the over. It's a tough game.
Why did it come down?
I don't know. That's a tough game.
Oh, I have to bet the Bears.
Yeah?
Yeah, Ben Johnson's going to be able to come up with ways for the Bears to score a lot of points against that bad Steelers defense. And Aaron Rodgers is completely shot.
Yeah, it appears that way. This move? No. Arizona 1.5 at home to Jacksonville.
Well, Harrison's going to be back, right? He's only going to miss 1 week this week with the appendix?
That's it? I don't know. I would think maybe longer. But
don't we like Arizona here?
Do you? Probably, yeah.
Well, I can't put a ton into the Seattle loss because not a lot of defenses are going to be able to do that and get in his grill as often as they did. Jacksonville probably being one of them.
All right, the toilet bowl out here. Raiders 1.5 at home to the Browns. Browns have lost 13 in a row on the road.
Oh.
Rizzo and his crew are coming. I want no part of this.
Shedeur Sanders game?
I would, not bad. Not a bad angle. 37.5 the total. Cleveland gives up 30 a game on the road.
Yeah, you know what? My gut says I got to take Browns money line, despite their road problems. This Raiders team is awful.
Yeah, I think they quit too.
And their offense, they will get mauled the entire game by that Cleveland front.
Okay, come on now. I know the Eagles have their issues on offense. 3.5 at Dallas? Okay.
Runaway train here?
Yeah, come on. They're going to do whatever. They'll get healthy and move it on Dallas. Come on.
Right.
And the defense
I agree
is so
with that.
Good. 3.5.
Boy, the Eagles' defense right now was just
they
absolutely
couldn't stop,
phenomenal.
Sorry, they couldn't stop Brissett.
Right.
Falcons 3 at the Saints. Fingers crossed you beat Carolina. You can win this. There's another. You suddenly get to 500. You never know.
I got to be honest. Shuck looked pretty good.
Not bad, yeah.
No, that was against Carolina.
Yeah. Olave's good, yeah.
Sure.
Olave with number 2 in targets. Just throw it up to him.
And this is going to be Michael Penix on the road.
Yeah.
For the most part, has not gone well going back to last year.
Sunday night. How about this schedule for the Buccaneers? Patriots at Buffalo, at the Rams. Rams 6. 49.5 the total. Oh.
Look, I like this Tampa team. I think below 7, I think I'd be on the Rams here.
I have to see who plays for Tampa.
Yeah, well.
Start with that.
That and also, like, I need the Adams stuff. This is more about Seattle this week, but Adams missing practice today for the Rams could be a big deal this week. I would expect him to be, much closer to 100% next week unless something would happen against the Seahawks.
Well, not the best game, but it's right there for the Niners, as we talked about earlier. Well, Monday night, 49ers are 7. 45.5 the total against Carolina. They play Arizona. They get Carolina at home. They play the Browns, and they play the Titans. They also get the Bears at home week 17.
Time to go on a nice run here for this team.
This is it right there.
Now,
you get Purdy back as well. They got to rattle it off now.
Right. That might not be the sexiest Monday night game that we're going to get the entire year. However, I will tell you that is going to be a very meaningful game for a lot of people.
Well said.
If you catch my drift.
Well said.
Yeah.
That's the one that sticks out. Yep. Because you've used these other teams and who you got to save for Thanksgiving. Official horse racing partner of VSiN. First bet built for bettors who demand more. Isn't about placing a bet. It's about helping bettors of all levels with handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights to help you make smarter bets. First Bet's in-app tools give you win, place, and show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI and take advantage of a limited time $250 sign-up offer to claim your bonus. Use promo code VSiN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or at firstbet.com. Promo code VSiN250.
Tell you, though, it's also a big stretch right now for the Chiefs because if they were to lose against the Broncos this week, come back and then lose to the Colts at home, that's going to drop them quite a bit in the AFC playoff picture. And then just in my head, what would that look like if Jonathan Taylor does go bananas against KC? And then if they were to play again in the playoffs? Because at that point, it would be Indianapolis would be at home in the playoffs because they would have the tiebreaker and they'd have several more wins than KC.
Yeah, 6-0 at home. Well, this race could really get interesting, as you said, with the Chiefs, Seattle, 49ers, Texans coming up. If he goes off in all those games, he'll go nuts against. They haven't played Jacksonville yet.
Yeah.
He'll go crazy against Jacksonville.
That is I tell you, out of the bye, I get what you're saying. The big fellow there, Andy Reid, has been dynamite. Obviously, we all know that after the bye. But at Broncos, Colts, at Cowboys, Texans at home on a Sunday night, that defense, then the Chargers.
Yep.
Oh, boy, what a stretch for KC.
And I am picking up what you are putting down week 12. Can't use the Lions. Seattle gone. Can't use the Ravens. Already used them. Can't. Oh, hello. 49ers laying 7 Monday night.
Mike Palm on the program next. You won't believe the response someone got when asking about a chop in Grandissimo. Find out next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Time now for Wednesdays with the Maestro. Mike Palm joins us here in studio every week at this time. He is the VP of this great property, the Golden Gate, and the D as well. Maestro, good afternoon. How are you, pal?
Mitch. Hello, Paul. Before I forget about it, Mitch, here's your envelope, buddy. There you go.
Okay.
6th place in the Deal Me In video poker tournament this past weekend.
Thank you very much.
Pick up $500.
Yeah, I'll take it. I appreciate that. I was in 3rd place after day 1.
Yeah.
I was looking okay day 2. Then it was the final day. I'm running, I think, in 1st place of that time window right there. Mm-hmm. And the young lady next to me, all of a sudden, she was behind. I had like 12,000 points. She goes from like 11, 12,000 to 30. She won 38,000.
Mitch, you and her were running right together. You were 10, 11. I called you. 10. Mitch is 10. Somebody else had a few more points, right? You guys were running like 2nd and 3rd. Her second to last hand, Paul, she had a 12-time multiplier and hit 4 aces with a kicker. 24,000 points.
That'll do it.
For a 37,000-point round, she ended up with 63,000 points for the tournament.
Good luck beating that.
That's
She was
like
very
Trabuco.
Very consistent. Trabuco, who's playing like a hand, 6 hands a minute.
Yeah.
But she didn't. I don't think she had a round worse than 12,000 out of the 5 rounds. She was very consistent, and then had the big round. So she was at 63. And then there was a couple at 56, and then it kind of went down in the rest of the field.
Let me be honest to the audience here. If you've never played this before, I'm not telling you to go nuts and start, losing paychecks. That's not what I'm getting at.
No.
But if you could ever get involved with the slot tournament, like a 5-minute Ultimate X slot tournament, to me is just an absolute high. And I love it. I mean, because Pauly and I go blazing fast. Mm-hmm. And so, you're always set up. You have so many chances of good hands. You just have to hit one of those big multipliers. It's a blast. I love doing it.
I played in a video poker tournament at the Fremont Casino one time. They invited me. They were 20-minute rounds, Mitch. I was...
Oh, my
And I was the youngest guy in the field by 30 years, too. I think I placed fourth or fifth, but even I was worn out. I'm looking up. 12 more minutes left. I mean, and I don't play as fast as you guys do, but that was taxing.
I've never even heard of such a thing.
20-minute rounds, 3 20-minute rounds.
Yeah.
I told you, I cramped up with the Inferno, with the one what you do with the D.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's because you're hitting it, then you're hitting like this.
God,
you're like that.
Yeah. But for 5 minutes,
it's pretty good.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I really do.
Good, my man. Yep. Good job. Great job. You give a great staff as well. Excellent.
All right, Paul, please share this, the detail that you know about the Grandissimo.
6 left. $7 million up top. This is not a poker tournament. It's there's no second place instead of steak knives, right? Implied value, $1.1 million now. We know someone who was still left. He reached out in a group text about, hey, what do you guys think about a chop here? 6 of us left. Introduce myself. What do you think here? It's, all or nothing. $1.1 million is the value. And the response he got from one individual was, go bleep yourself.
Really?
And he was so stunned and shocked and pissed off at the response, he decided to just get out of it entirely.
He sold out.
And sold and got out of it.
How much did he sell for? Can you say that?
I do not know that.
Okay. It's 1.5 million though, right? 6.9 divided by 6, right? 1.1.
1.15, yeah.
1.15, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he could get $1 million for it, or 980 or whatever, did he do any research into the person or that group that gave him that response to know?
I believe so. Yes.
I think there may be groups that have like 8 or 10 people in them, and so I think that gets hard to a chop when you're splitting it that many ways.
And
right? I think that factors into it. It's not just one guy saying, screw 1.15 million.
Right. I also think that was kind of predictable when you go back to before the contest started. You didn't know.
Yeah.
There were angles where these
Mitch
groups...
was worried about this.
Right. For 100,000, you might have entries where we're talking about, 5 to 10 people in the group, or you might have people with bankrolls that are just millions of dollars and they don't care about a chop. And they want to play to win the entire thing.
Possible it's for prestige.
For sure.
Possible it's that you may not get into any talk of a chop till it's heads up. Possible where until $3.5 million makes any difference. But still, the response is not kind.
No, not at all.
The strangers and someone, hey, just let her introduce myself. What do you think?
Thinking about a chop?
$1 million here, right? How about we take 700, play for the rest, whatever it could be.
You could just talk.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Yeah.
Go frog yourself.
You could say not interested at this point. Would be more appropriate, right?
Yes.
Not interested.
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Right.
Yeah. So now you're rooting against that person as well.
Yeah.
And they also have an ego, and they used Denver Thursday, so they're lucky to still be in the damn thing.
Well, I mean. You couldn't say that any of the picks were tremendous. I mean, Seattle was, a rocking chair. But, I mean, we knew Week 10 was going to be tough.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was tough. All divisional games, all.
I hated the week. Said it on the air multiple times last week. It was not a fun week at all. And on my one entry, I had to use Denver or wanted to use Denver. And I hated the idea of going to war with that team. And they should have lost.
Well, they should have lost.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of teams that could have played a worse game on that night. The Raiders being one of them, to not win that game.
Oh, my God. You're spot on.
I know the winds might have been swirling, but he passed on a 54 and twice a 57-yard field goal. All 3 times. The punt.
Mile high.
Mile high. Mm-hmm. Guys are drilling them from 68 at sea level. I'm just saying. I mean,
I know.
What? College kids are kicking 58-yard field goals.
That right?
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
You can't take Denver seriously in the playoffs, I don't think, at this point, right? Too many dud games offensively.
I don't know what I'm going to get out of Nick's. I think he's regressed a little bit. I mean, other than the Cowboy defense, what has he been good against? Right? I mean, and I guess you could say the Giants in the fourth quarter of that game.
Well, how many dud games now are we talking about in recent weeks? Forget the Dallas game for
Jets
a second.
And,
oh my God,
London, how bad that game was.
brutal.
Again, any other team beats them on that week.
Right.
Kind of.
I would actually say that Houston would be equally as dangerous if they could make the playoffs. If Stroud comes back, that defense might be better than Denver's defense.
If Stroud comes back, I still like Houston. If Stroud comes back. Because I don't know that there's any Goliath in the AFC.
I don't think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on Circa Survivor down to 1,000? And also the strategy with the individual who has all 10. If you think
he got by. He barely got by. I was convinced we weren't going to have anybody. I think that we have a couple with 5 left. It was all we were going to have after all those early games looked like carnage. He's in a nice spot. Does he have New England left? I don't know. I'd do some research. But he's in a very nice spot. But you really don't start getting serious till you probably get down to about 200 people in that, right? The tickets are now worth $18,000 each, right?
They're going for like 30, though.
So he's worth 180, though. Yeah. His 10, right? If you extrapolate it out. So it's interesting. Now you start thinking about holidays and where you're going, and I still think Black Friday. People have saved the Eagles for Black Friday, and then
Is that what you would do?
I would. You don't.
Would you want Baltimore? You got to see what Burrow plays.
I don't know that. I don't know that Baltimore was that good last week. I thought
they weren't.
Minnesota was that bad.
That
they had 8 false starts at home.
Can you believe that?
And blame the Ravens.
Yes.
8 false starts.
Yes.
I thought it was a really poorly coached game.
Yeah.
And McCarthy is just not consistent.
He's not.
One series he looks like all pro, and the next series he looks like he couldn't start on a 6A team in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. How about this angle? 90 people in the $1,000 contest used Detroit last week. Will more people use them against the Giants next week and just say, I don't want to wait because I'm not going to use them against Green Bay?
No, you can't.
And I'm going to probably use somebody else on Christmas Day then.
Interesting. They become a lot more viable now that Campbell's calling plays too. I mean, you could see the difference in the aggression in that team with him calling the plays. So it's very possible. I mean, you have to have some plan on the holidays. And hopefully you have 2 entries that you can have 2 spots
right
on the holidays is where you want to have yourself. If you can't, then you better be confident of your pick.
Is there any chance that the Bears are actually going to be sneakier against Philadelphia than we've all been saying for like the entire year?
I think Philadelphia is a very competent team. The Bears sort of need you to open up a door for them. The Commanders turn the ball over time after time, right? The Cincinnati defense was terrible. The Giants, if Dart doesn't get hurt, the Giants are winning that game, right?
Oh, yes.
I mean, pretty clearly, right?
The Raiders should have probably defeated them.
That's not to say the Bears aren't going to win at Minnesota on Sunday either. That's not to say. I just think the Bears need you to open the door. I don't think they can overwhelm you as a team. Philadelphia's pretty buttoned up. They're pretty buttoned. I guess the second half against Philadelphia, Knicks played all right. That was probably Denver's best half of football this year, coming back from that deficit to win in Philadelphia.
Well, Chicago, they've had so many turnovers go their way this year. Oh. If they could somehow turn over this Philly team that doesn't like to give the ball away at all, I guess maybe I'm reaching here.
I know.
Because I agree.
Barkley's really good. I mean, you give him an inch, he makes the most out of it. Hurts doesn't usually beat himself. Right?
After getting Phillips at the deadline now, that defense overall, oh my God.
I thought the defense was terrific on Monday night. It's just, but Love plays with no sense of urgency. Just zero sense of urgency there.
The whole team.
How'd you like the
whole offense? Also.
Yeah, how'd you like the fourth down call?
Yeah.
When the entire defense is screaming inside zone, we know where it's coming. 9 guys waiting for him there. You got 2 timeouts.
That's LaFleur.
Oh, yeah.
I thought both coaches were horrible on Monday night.
Oh, they were.
What's Sirianni doing? Going on 4th down there. What is he doing? You only need 25 yards for a field goal.
Yes,
What's he
that's
doing?
it. More with the Maestro coming up. You cannot be serious. Have you ever seen both teams rush the field at the end of a football game? He'll explain what happened coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue with Mike Palm. He is the VP of Circa Las Vegas, the Golden Gate, and the D here in downtown. Time now for You Cannot Be Serious.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
All right, here we go. Number one. Can both things be true? Let's go Saturday for a SoCon showdown between Mercer and Western Carolina, where the Blue Ridge Mountains meet the Smoky Mountains. The winner of this game would win the conference and the automatic berth into the FCS playoffs. A wild game saw Mercer take a 49-47 lead with 90 seconds remaining. Western Carolina drove to the Mercer 15 with 3 seconds to go, and place kicker Marcus Trout came on to attempt a 33-yard game-winning field goal. Trout's kick sailed toward the upright. The Western Carolina PA announcer declared, "It's good." Western Carolina players and fans stormed the field. Trout was hoisted on the shoulders of an offensive lineman. But wait, Mercer players also stormed the field. What was going on? Well, what was going on was the kick was wide right. The PA announcer was completely wrong. I went back and listened to the broadcast. They called it no good wide right away. The officials conferred, looked at the replay, and determined it was indeed wide right. Mercer held on and wins the SoCon title and on to the FCS playoffs. Western Carolina PA announcer.
You can't be serious.
All right, number two, cheat on. Let's go to Friday night.
Oh, no!
At the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. There he is. There he is. Number 19 USC taking on those mighty Warriors from Chicago, Northwestern. The score is tied 7-7 at the beginning of the second quarter. 13:58 left to go in the half. USC is facing 4th and 6 from their own 46. Number 80 back and lined up. 14 yards back of the long snap. Now, let's give a little background on this. Number 80 is Sam Johnson, the punter for USC. Can we talk about Brock Huard? Brock Huard's brother Damon also played at the University of Washington, and his son has transferred and is playing at USC. He's the backup quarterback to Maeva. Up till 2 weeks ago, he had number 7. 2 weeks ago, he changed to number 80. This is a point of interest here. USC didn't change his number in their online roster or any of the game notes for this game. So number 80 goes back, lined up 12 yards behind the snapper. They snap it to him, and he throws an easy 10-yard pass for a first down. Of course, it was Sam Huard, not Sam Johnson, the backup quarterback wearing number 80, not the punter, who is number 80. They go on and drive. They score a touchdown on the drive. They go on to win the game 38-17. Now, the Big Ten comes out Sunday and issues a statement. And it says only one player can have a number at any given position on a team. All right? So there was no penalty on this play. Technically, the penalty comes with 5.5 minutes left in the half. When the real punter, Sam Johnson, goes back to punt, they should have been flagged 15 yards every time he went back to punt because only the backup quarterback could be the punter. If you line up 10 yards or more deep behind the center, you are a punter by definition. You can't say you're in a shotgun and you're a quarterback. So they misinterpreted. They miscalled that the 3 times he punted later in the game. Lincoln Riley, of course, comes out and says it's totally legal. Our assistant coaches found the loophole in this. Well, it's one thing if you had 2 players who were 80 all along. He changed the kid's number 2 weeks ahead of time to pull this stunt and then got away with it in the game. Cheat on is right. I say shame on you, Big Ten Conference. And Lincoln Riley.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Pot, meet kettle for number 3. The NHL, Paul, I don't know if you caught this, has grave concerns over the quality of the ice that will be used for the Winter Olympics in Milan, Italy in February. Construction is behind schedule on the new Olympic arena. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Estadio Vinny Maiulo. I'm not sure if I'm... An under-20 World Championship was scheduled to be played there in December, but it has already been moved. Commissioner Gary Bettman, a.k.a. Little Putin, is sending an envoy to Italy next week to check on the progress of the stadium. Now, none of this would rankle me in any way, except for the fact that in the next 3 months, the NHL is playing outdoor games in Miami and Tampa Bay. On January 2nd in Miami, where the temperature average high is 76 degrees Fahrenheit, they're playing an outdoor NHL game. And in Tampa Bay on February 1st, where the average temperature is 73 degrees, they're playing an outdoor. Yeah, they're going to build a little garage over the ice. They're going to be, but now they're worried about the quality of the ice in Milan. Gary Bettman.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
You know, it was such a busy week. I had 8 different things I had to choose from.
8?
And I didn't go with Bennington stealing the Ovechkin puck because it was so long. It was a full week ago. But this jerk puts the 900th puck and tries. I was watching in real time. He made a beeline for the bench. The linesman caught him and stopped him. Give up the puck. Oh, it was just a joke because I turned it over. Everybody in the NHL is happy that he got exposed for what a DB he really is. You know that? Bennington, real jerk.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Ovechkin expulsion.
Yeah, they stopped the game on
understand
TNT
that,
and all
but
that.
I mean, yeah.
He put the puck in his pants. It
The
was trying to
breezers,
skate
yeah.
in the breezers. It was trying to skate to
I
the
thought
bench
you meant
with
like
it.
he's a real jerk overall.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Also.
okay. Oh,
Also.
okay.
All
right.
the insiders in the NHL are happy about it. You know what the amazing thing is here? When they go to Italy, is that Bennington's going to be the goaltender for Canada. He's playing terrible. He's got a 3-8 goals against. There's nobody on the earth playing better than Logan Thompson. But both assistant coaches coached him in Las Vegas and want nothing to do with him.
It was only a couple of years ago, by the way. They played an outdoor game up at Lake Tahoe.
They stopped it with 3 minutes to go in the first because the ice melted.
Right, because it was a super sunny day.
Yeah, the
sun-
heat, they
the
couldn't
sun, the
believe
glare.
they couldn't. But when you think when you're in the mountains, you're not closer to the sun.
Yeah.
Remember they had to wait till 7:30 at night
They
to
had
resume
they
the
had to
game.
come back hours later when it was pitch black
That was
outside
the
to
New
play
Year's
the
Eve
game.
game.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Man. How do you feel about the Irish? Number 9.
Yeah, well, they should be.
Well, come on.
They absolutely should.
With
Look at
one
what they've
good
done.
win.
No,
Yeah.
it's the quality losses, Paul.
Oh,
They've got
that's got
quality
it. I got
losses.
it.
They're
Yeah.
the only. You think anybody else could put up 40 on A&M? That
Yeah.
team's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they hammer Pitt? That's a big
That's
number.
It's a little tricky game. The Pitt slogs things down, and they play these 3.5-hour games. I don't know if they do it. If they went out there in, I'll tell you something else. If this cheater Lincoln Riley and USC went out, they're going to be in too.
If they went
Yeah,
out.
that's
I don't
true.
think
They
Yeah,
are going to
they
be
are.
in too.
Yeah, right, I know. How about Utah being 13th overall?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to win out.
That's
And
I don't
probably
think they can get. I don't know. They got hammered at home by Texas.
No kidding.
Oh, it was never a game.
Yeah.
And got beat by BYU.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what's their? I thought that conference at the top was a little stronger than we thought it was, but Iowa State turned out to be awful.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's better than last year, but it doesn't have the depth at the top I thought it had. The Big 12.
How was the handle here in college football compared to previous years? Is it up?
It's picking up a little bit. We had a real swoon there early in the year, where we were significantly down, and we've made up some ground because of good matchups or such. So I don't know if we'll get to where we were last year by the end of the year. It might be close, but it didn't continue on the trajectory that the NFL has.
Oh, is there a reason behind that, you think?
I don't know. I think, a lot of college football depends on matchups, what the public bets. And they're going to bet what they think is a compelling matchup. So, when you have some traditional teams we thought were going to be a lot better, have flattened out, there's a lot of Penn State games you thought, although Indiana was a really good game, it takes the luster off a lot of these matchups. LSU,
Pauly and I said earlier that 12 teams too many with super conferences. A 12-team playoff, I'm fine with that if they would go back to what it used to be like, but they're never going to do that. Now the super conference is 12 teams.
And
what's
they
the
want
point?
5, and the big ones want 5 teams in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he said there's a path where the SEC could get 6 teams and the Big 10 gets 3. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's no good.
I know how Mitch feels. What do you think of Gus? You watch all these games. What do you think of Gus Johnson?
He lost his fastball, but I think
Lost his voice.
I think he's sick. He's sick. I don't want to. I'm not a doctor, but we saw him for the Crown basketball tournament because we hung out with Jim Jackson a little bit.
Yep,
but
right,
Gus
good
never
guy.
came down. We invited him down. Jim came down 3 times. Jim's been here again. And we asked, can Gus come down? Not really feeling up to it. I don't think he's in the best. She looks thin, but he's like you said, lost the fastball.
Yeah. There's a couple guys in Detroit who hammered him today, and
on the end of the game with Penn State and
he
India, it
called
wasn't
it.
great.
Yeah,
it wasn't great.
Yeah. VSiN Pro subscribers have exclusive access to our all-new AI player prop projections powered by Opt.ai, the trusted data source behind elite soccer analytics in the UK. Data-driven projections, quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and the exclusive NBA player props as well, compared directly to DraftKings lines to help you find value. Access it all with a VSiN Pro subscription, VSiN.com/subscribe. A lot of great players on big trends, unders, and overs. vsin.com/subscribe.
All right, Mike. Busy day lined up tonight?
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. I like the first period, Devils, Blackhawks under. Spencer Knight's playing very, very well against Markstrom tonight, plus 115 under 1.5 in that game. The Hawks are competitive.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But by the way, the Avalanche are hands above everybody else right now. The Avalanche are phenomenal.
We said yesterday to build cross-sport parlays, the Avalanche to win the West has to be a part of it, doesn't
Absolutely.
it?
Anaheim's playing great, and they didn't have much of a shot.
Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
We'll get in. How about this? A player took 16 threes his last game. Same opponent tonight. Find out who it is next.